Hello and welcome to the session on the Woods Dispatch. What is the Woods Dispatch? Wood's Dispatch came to be known after the name of Sir Charles Wood, who was the president of the Board of Control. Wood's Dispatch on Education in 1854 laid the foundation on which the educational system in India has since developed. By 1853, one of the key concerns of the British government was the problems related to education in India. In order to provide a solution, the Secretary of the State of that time, Sir Charles Wood, presented a dispatch to the directors of the British East India Company. The dispatch expressed that education in English as well as Indian local languages should be enhanced and encouraged throughout the nation. According to Charles Wood, the English institutions could serve as the useful model for education. In 1854, Wood prepared his comprehensive dispatch on the scheme of the future education in India. The dispatch came to be considered as the Magna Carta of English education in India. The scheme of education, as proposed by Wood's dispatch, envisaged a coordinated system of education throughout the country. It placed the responsibility of education of the Indian people fully on the British East India. The dispatch gave new direction to education in India, and this direction has its clear impact on today's education in the country. The Woods dispatch was formulated followed by a series of events in the area of education in India. One of the main amongst these events was the Macaulay's Minute, which staunchly supported the Anglicist view in educating the Indians in English. The Anglicists justified their proposed reforms by affirming the superiority of European literature and science over traditional Oriental learning. This position had long been held by evangelicals and utilitarians. The Orientalists opposed the Anglicist perspective of giving preference to English as the medium of education. According to the Orientalist, Indians should be taught in their own vernacular languages. But both groups favored the introduction and spread of European literature and science. Macaulay, in his Minute, argued that the vernacular languages did not contain any literary or scientific information. For him, English literature and science of West was highly superior to that of India. The controversy about the education in India had been a long pending headache for the British Parliament. Majority of the elite Indians argued for English education since jobs in the company's administrative posts were only reserved for those who is well versed in English. But another group of Indians, including Mahatma Gandhi, stood for an education based on vernacular languages at par with Indian culture. In order to tackle the controversial issue, the company had formulated various policies during the renewal of the Charter Act in every 20 years, events leading to the Woods dispatch. The charter of the British East India Company had to be renewed after every 20 years. Accordingly, while renewing the charter in 1833, the British Parliament increased the sum of money to 1 million yearly on education in India from 1 lakh in 1813. When the time for renewal came in 1853, education in India had come to suffer numerous problems. The directors of the company decided to lay down a definite policy for education in India. For this, they decided to make a comprehensive survey of the entire field of education. A selection committee of the British Parliament was set up for enquiring the measures for necessary reforms. The committee studied the issue thoroughly and reported that the question of the Indian education should not be ignored. They also reported that its development would not be in any case harmful to the British Empire. The suggestions of the committee were favorably considered by the board of directors. Sir Charles Wood was the president of the board of control. Therefore, the declaration issued on July 19, 1854 was known as Wood's Despatch. Although it is said that the despatch was written by John Stuart Mill, he was a famous philosopher and a clerk of the company at that time. On the basis of the recommendations of the Wood's Despatch, new educational policies were formed. The main aim of Wood's Despatch, according to British East India Company, were 1. Mental development of the Indian and to raise their intellectual capacity. 2. To make the Indians aware of the Western knowledge and science. 3. To improve material prosperity of the Indians. 4. To develop the character and morality of Indians. And 5th, to create a proper and efficient workforce for the British East India Company. Recommendations of the Wood's Despatch. Wood's Despatch is a long document of 100 paragraphs. It deals with the various aspects of education. The main recommendations of Wood's Despatch were as follows: aims and objectives of educational policy. The despatch first throws light on the aims and objectives of educational policy of the company in India. It gave highest priority to the responsibility of Indian education. The objectives presented were: first, to impart Western knowledge and information to the Indians; second, to educate Indians in order to create a class of public servants; third, to promote intellectual development of Indians; fourth, to raise the moral character of the young generation; and fifth, to develop practical and vocational skills in order to increase production and consumption. Department of Education. The Wood's Despatch for the first time recommended the creation of a Department of Public Instruction (DPI) in each of the 5 provinces of Bengal, Bombay, Madras, the Punjab and northwestern provinces. The DPI had to submit an annual report to the government about the educational progress in his province. Expansion of mass education. It was observed that the common people were deprived of educational opportunities. Therefore, much emphasis was given on the increase in setting up primary, middle and high schools. The downward filtration theory, as proposed earlier, was discarded, and in its place the importance to primary education was given. In downward filtration theory, knowledge and education passes from top to the bottom. Elementary education was considered to be the foundation of the education system. Establishment of universities. The despatch recommended the establishment of universities in the 3 presidency towns of Calcutta, Bombay and Madras. The universities were to be modelled after the London University. They were to be managed by a senate comprising of a chancellor, a vice chancellor and fellows nominated by the government. The universities would confer degrees to successful candidates after passing the examinations of science or arts streams conducted by the Senate. The universities were to organize departments not only of English but also of Arabic, Sanskrit and Persian, as well as law and civil engineering. Grant in aid system. The Woods Dispatch recommended the sanction of grant in aid system in the Indian educational system. Grants were given to those private schools and colleges which satisfied the following conditions. A. The schools must provide secular education. B. The school management should run the school well. C. The school should agree to state inspection from time to time. D. The schools should follow any rule prescribed by the government. And E. The school must charge fees from the students. Teaching of language. The dispatch gave importance to teaching of English, but at the same time it also stressed on the teaching of Indian languages. The dispatch realized that the European knowledge could be communicated to the common people only through their own mother tongue. Education of women. The dispatch emphasized the importance of female education and stated that it was equally important as education of men. It encouraged the private enterprises to promote women education. The schools for girls were to be included among the grants in aid ones. Training of teachers. The dispatch recommended the establishment of teacher training schools in each of the provinces. There should be training schools for teachers of engineering, medicine and law. The qualified teachers should be given better pay scales. The dispatch further emphasized on the provision of scholarship to the teachers during their training period. Professional education. The dispatch encouraged professional education. It recommended the establishment of medical, engineering, law and other institutes of professional education. This is to develop vocational efficiency of the people and also to make them realize that the British rule was progressive. Another reason for the encouragement of vocational education was to reduce unemployment. Introduction of network of graded schools all over India. The dispatch recommended establishment of a network of graded schools all over the country. At one end were the universities and the colleges, then the high schools followed by the middle schools. At the bottom of the network were the primary schools that consist of both government and indigenous schools. The Anglo-vernacular and vernacular schools were to be included in the same class. Merits and demerits of the Woods Dispatch. The British attitude towards education as a tool for the supply of cheap labourers in their different departments had changed with the Woods Dispatch. The merits of the dispatch are the following. The Woods Dispatch started a new era in Indian education system by clearly defining objectives of education. It presented a comprehensive scheme of education comprising of primary, secondary and higher education. It recommended the creation of a separate department of public instruction in 5 provinces and appointment of a director to head the department. The principle of downward filtration theory was discarded by the Woods Dispatch and it encouraged the promotion of mass education. It recommended the establishment of indigenous schools. By the grant in aid system, many schools were benefited. The quality of education improved and private organizations were encouraged to open new schools. The dispatch encouraged higher education by recommending the establishment of universities in Calcutta, Bombay and Madras. The despatch directed to utilize the provincial funds for the development of primary education. The despatch emphasized on the necessity of vocational education. The despatch recommended to establish teacher training institutes for improving the quality of teachers. The despatch recommended scholarship for the poor and deserving students. Language teaching was encouraged by the despatch. As a result, regional languages and classical languages were taught in the schools. Broadening of school curriculum by introducing subjects like the native methods of arithmetic, accounts, elements of natural and physical sciences and their application to agriculture, health and the individual arts. The demerits of Wood's despatch are given below. The despatch in reality promoted Western literature and knowledge. So, the employment in government offices showed preferences for persons educated in English. Most of the education planning and management schemes had not been properly implemented. It neglected general education. Only the privileged class received education. Indigenous schools remained neglected. The government did not give adequate financial aid to local bodies, and while additional funds were spent on higher education, primary education was allowed to starve. Indigenous schools remained neglected. Priority was given to people educated on English pattern with regard to government post. The system of granting aid did not operate properly. There was always the paucity of funds, the irregularity of their release and biased attitude towards the privately managed schools. The idea of providing vocational education as advocated by the despatch was in reality absent. People were facing the problem of unemployment. The Wood's despatch had a lenient attitude towards the Christian missionaries. Christian religious books were easily made available to the students in the libraries. The despatch succeeded in only producing a class of clerks and accountants. The Wood's despatch could not remove the imbalance in Indian education system. The rich people sent their children to English medium schools. The government gradually stopped financial aid to the indigenous schools. So, the existence of these schools became jeopardized. The three universities were modelled on the London University, and the government's policy of nominating members to the Senate was biased. Therefore, higher education was not at par with Indian conditions and culture. The grants to individual schools were to be made strictly on the basis of result. Giving grants on the basis of results was a mistake, as the system of payments by result had failed wherever it had been tried. The despatch failed to develop character, initiative and leadership among students. Effectiveness of Wood's despatch. In spite of all the limitations, the Wood's despatch was recognized as the Magna Carta of Indian education. The objectives of the despatch was sincere, but the government could not implement the various suggestions and recommendations. The Department of Education was created in the 5 provinces with a DPI, inspectors and other officers. In 1857, 3 universities were also established in Calcutta, Bombay and Madras. The main provisions of the document were of great historical importance. It provided a boost to secondary education and to some extent to primary education also. It was, however, observed that some of the most important recommendations of the despatch were not carried out for a long time and some were given effect in a distorted form. During the first 30 years after the dispatch, government institutions were gradually increased, and except the Christian missionaries, other private enterprise were not encouraged. Failure of the Woods Dispatch as a charter. Had the recommendations offered by the dispatch been followed completely without any deficiency, the foundation for a national system of education would have been laid, but unfortunately this was not done. Between 1854 and 1882, the education departments were established in all provinces. In spite of this, the departments did not promote the interest of education. The system of granting aid did not operate well because of the inadequacy of grants and the irregularity of its release. The primary education also did not make much headway. The government had paid little time to attend to the primary education. The funds were inadequate and the money raised through educational cess was diverted to other channels. The university education could not be improved because the universities remained for a long time examining bodies. No teaching was done, no chairs were formed. English remained as the medium for teaching in schools and colleges. Indian languages could not find any place in higher education and were neglected. The dispatch failed to place emphasis on character, initiative and leadership among students. The dispatch is said to have adopted the policy of religious neutrality. It declared that there would be no religious instruction, and for an appointment to government post, one's religion would not be a bar. But the Bible remained in the libraries of the colleges and schools. The inspectors during their periodical visit did not adhere to the removal of religious instruction imparted. Christianity was indirectly forced upon the pupils. The system was fitted to answer the needs of the British people and British government in India. Now, let me summarize the major points what we have discussed so far. In this unit, we have looked at the Woods Dispatch on education, what it is, its recommendations, its merits and demerits, and the effectiveness of its implementation. The Woods Dispatch of 1854 envisaged a coordinated system of education where the entire responsibility of education in India was placed on the British East India Company. The dispatch resulted in the setting up of departments of public instruction in each of the 5 provinces of Bengal, Bombay, Madras, the Punjab and the northwestern provinces. The dispatch had various recommendations like expansion of mass education, setting up of universities, education of women, granting aid system, training of teachers and introduction of graded schools in the country. However, the dispatch had not been properly implemented and served only the interest of the British. Therefore, it can be considered as a failure as a charter. Now, you can try to answer the questions given here. The first question, what were the main recommendations of the Woods Dispatch? Second question, explain the merits and demerits of the Woods Dispatch. Third question, discuss the effectiveness of Woods Dispatch. And fourth, what were the reasons for the failure of the Woods Dispatch as a charter? Fifth question, why was the Hunter Commission set up and what were its aims? Now, You may go through the reference books for further reading and understanding. First book is History of Education in India by R. N. Sharma and R. K. Sharma, published by Atlantic Publishers, New Delhi in the year 2000. Educational Documents in India from 1813 to 1986, Survey of Indian Education by B. D. Bhatt and J. C. Agarwal, published by Arya Book Depot, New Delhi in the year 1987. Landmarks in the History of Modern Indian Education by J. C. Agarwal, published by Vigas Publishing House Private Limited, New Delhi. Thank you for watching this program. We can meet again with another topic. Till then, take care. Thank you.